Welcome back to Let's Play Disco Elysium. Last episode, How are you, my friend?
The smell of freshly treated leather, the lack of dirt and dust on the dashboard, and a neat little brush in the cup holder, all seem to be whispering, I'm good, cherished and cared for, in the hands of a tending owner.
And where have you been? What? Why? Why? Why?
Despair creeps into you, getting fat on your weakness. You're still coming up with sentences. That's a step up from total annihilation, right? He watches you melt down stoically from behind the lenses of his glasses. Nothing you can say would...
Oh my god, are you kidding me? Oh god. Do I have to save after every interaction? Oh my god. Oh god. Oh god. Passed out and died. So, off camera, I took care of that business, and now we are on our way again. What's on the itinerary? Gun, badge, pants. Right, ledger. This again.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A pitiful cabbage of white and yellow papers hanging. There's a piece of... It's a metaphor for you.
Right, I think I smelled the ledger.
The acidics, you know, like the bits they put into public piss bowl. Your nose does not... It's just toilet paper. Still wet. The toilet paper peels off the plastic. An aluminium block runs the width. The surface looks like an...
What? That thing. It's a halogen watermark. We use it for adding information to RCM property. Any capable light with the right wavelength will do. All RCM vehicles have headlights designed to reveal halogen watermarks. Mine too.
This means you can read the watermarks if you just turn the lights on.
It depends. Aside from an anti-counterfeiting stamp, mine has my station number and address. The information varies by date of issue.
Maybe yours will have how many cases you've solved.
Okay.
While a bunch of sodden papers sag from the clipboard in your hand, it's a sorry sight.
I browsed the white papers.
They're not exactly white. They're yellowed in patches by sunlight and alcohol and covered in dense blue handwriting. Ink escapes into watercolor patterns, reaching its tendrils across entire pages. The paper itself is checkered, with faint red lines forming short paragraphs. Once in a while, there's a red stamp that exclaims, "Case files commit to paper." The case files themselves are plenty. You count more than 100 sodden, crumpled up, earmarked pages falling apart in your hands. They appear to be sufficiently organized and extremely dense, if mostly illegible.
What's in there? What are they about?
Work, strife, poverty, the Jamrock Quarter. These are handwritten logs of investigations dating back to January 51, this year. The exact number is hard to estimate due to missing pages and an odd naming convention. But there are at least 20, maybe 30 cases undertaken, not completed, mind you. It's the middle of March. You have attempted 2 cases a week on average. What do you mean? Is that all?
Is 2 cases a week a good caseload, Lieutenant?
Huh? 2 complex cases to undertake is a lot, yes. You really have to push yourself. I would not suggest it, lest you start making mistakes.
2 cases a week appears to have been my load, Lieutenant. I'm not sure I completed them, though.
2? That's a lot. I didn't mean to say you are making mistakes, by the way. That was presumptuous of me.
A nice brisk pace, the way I like it.
I prefer a normal caseload. It's a matter of method.
Like a fan of gills, the checkered papers dry in your hand. The handwriting is extremely dense, if mostly illegible.
Count the pages. I have to open an official case. Is there room?
There is, for precisely one more. 15 pages near the end remain untouched by the damage. The checkered grid forms a structure of passages, breaking the case into subtasks to accomplish. Once all the tasks are accomplished, the case is complete.
I commit to paper.
Sadly, the ledger only comes with an old, worn-down lead pencil. It's unfitting of this monumental event. The ledger only comes with an old, worn-down lead pencil. It will do, barely. But
Kim, do you have a pen?
the lieutenant looks at his blue notebook. 2 fat, shiny pens hang from the binder, like large caliber bullets on an ammo belt. He is not really saying anything, just standing there, looking at them.
Can I have one?
Know that I give this to you with resentment.
With this beauty, commit to paper.
The tasks you've completed flow out of the blue oblong pen in a brash freehand uncannily similar to the rest of the letters. The wording comes easily. It's almost robotically simple, a language developed for mental rigor and simplicity. Inspect the victim's body. Interview the cafeteria manager. It's not exactly poetry, but poetry would be out of place.
Cross out the ones you've already finished.
A satisfying slash sounds across the paper. You're done, it seems to say. And you, and you. You're a swashbuckler with that pen, Harry, and it feels good.
Harry?
Feels like completion.
Oh yes, we love crossing out bullet points.
Things to be done and things already done. The composition of reality. This is an extremely useful tool for a detective of the citizens' militia. Now all that remains is to name the case.
Lieutenant, have you by any chance named our case?
No, actually. Any ideas?
The Hanged Man.
Great. That's great. That's actually what I was thinking too. The Hanged Man. Good, strong name. We have a very good name for the case now.
Nice.
I'm going to start calling it the Hanged Man. It's good we sorted this out.
Let's see. Oh. There was a mention of a naming convention here.
Yes, it appears you employ a, shall we say, robust yet literary system. Each investigation has its case number written on the margins. Yet, still more tellingly, most are accompanied by a name.
You know what? That's the way I like it.
A title, one might say even. One that draws inspiration from snoop fiction and vespertine cop show staples.
Oh my, and they're written in capital letters too.
Yes, all caps. One is called The Next World Mural. Another, The Square Bullet Hole Murders. Another yet, The Unsolvable Case.
More?
Others appear more light-hearted. The guys on a couch in an unexpected location, and the murder at the hookah parlor. Even the rare article-free collapsing tenement. Murder features prominently throughout.
Oh, we love to be article free.
It's going to take an effort to piece these case files together, but it can be done. Once you're done inspecting them up close.
Captain Obvious here. Kim, all my cases employ a naming convention similar to what we used on ours.
Yes, how very childish of you. In your and my defense, almost everyone in the RCM uses the titular system, in addition to the official alphanumeric.
And why is that?
It's a holdover from the early days of the RCM, right after the revolution, when the organization had little idea how to do things. It persists in an unofficial capacity. Officers use these titles to refer to their work among themselves.
I seem to have named the case the Square Bullet Holes Murders.
Again, in your defense, I seem to have named one the man with the hole in his head. That was a real person. His death was real. Still, I named it that, to amuse myself. I pray his loved ones never find out.
What happened to him?
Rail spiked through the head. He died. It was a workplace accident.
That's it?
The notebook is annual. It says 51 on what remains of its cover. A molten strap of cardboard. Everything prior to this must have belonged to a previous volume. In short, there was more.
Okay, I'm done inspecting these.
You don't exactly close them, so much as distance yourself from the smelly papers. They're a little further from your nose now.
And can I read the case files now?
Yes, you can piece them together using the alphanumeric code on the margin. It always begins with HDB 41, then date of initialization and time of arrival on the scene, followed by the title. For example, HDB 41120111700, the Next World Mural.
Wait, HDB 41. Weren't those Officer Precinct?
Why, yes, your precinct number is 41.
And HDB?
Every last alphanumeric in the files begins with it. And these are your case files. It's safe to say HDB are your initials.
Well, I know my first name is Harry, so it can't be Horace, not Pram. Wow, I don't know what to say to that.
I got nothing here either. Logic really isn't the best faculty to have this conversation with, but it's the one you got. So sorry.
How long does it take to read a case?
It takes about half an hour to piece one together, using the system you've devised. Where do you want to start?
I can revisit this.
Not much has changed in the meanwhile. A bunch of sodden papers still sags from the clipboard.
I put the ledger away. Alright. First thing, check my items. We have a blue oblong pen. A blue pen, like a large caliber bullet that shoots out ink, once belonging to Lieutenant Kitsuragi. Comes with a side order of resentment. Oh yes, I too am quite possessive of me pens. We have a level up. Who shall we give it to? I'm still unsure of how to do this. The other game, Sunless Skies, sort of leaned on a min-max format. Not sure about this one. Maybe for the first playthrough I'll just do whatever the heck I want. Right. Visual calculus. The artist in me wants to invest. Reconstruct crime scenes. Make laws of physics. Work for the law. Alright. Read the watermarks in the journal. Go to the kinema and turn on the lights. I don't know what the kinema is. Oh, headlights. Right. Okay.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge.
Kim, how do I turn on the headlights?
Alright, ready? I turn, you press start. It's next to the preheater.
I press engine start.
The dashboard lights up with orange glow. The rounds per minute gauge jumps, and the engine of the Caprice Canadian comes to life with a whiny growl. Like a leopard waking from its sleep, yawning and roaring at the same time.
Press the button labeled headlights.
The lights unfold with a little click, casting electrical light onto the ground before the vehicle.
There you go. I'll turn them off from the remote once you're done. We just need to stand in front of the machine now.
I need to speak to
This is
Sylvie.
Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
I'm gonna make this quick. Sylvie.
Of course. What is the number, officer?
Yes.
Received.
Lieutenant,
Officer? Yes, hello? Oh, right. Hello, officer. What can I do for you?
You quit your job at the Whirling. Why? Was it you who called the police?
No, not me.
Do you know who made the call?
No, sorry. I don't. Not a lot of people have phones around here. Copper thieves take the wires. People don't have the money to have the cables put in again. They use the Union's phone, or the one on the coast.
so the Union has a phone, and there's one further down the coast.
It was someone else. We'll find them sooner or later, officer. It just might take a while.
But why didn't you call? Didn't the corpse behind your workplace bother you?
What? Of course it bothered me. But I thought the Union already knew about the corpse.
What does this Union have to do with anything?
No one calls the police. The Union would get angry.
What do you mean by that?
You know, what the Union says goes. People listen to them and they take care of their own, which is like everyone here.
Wait, Kim. Is she speaking truth? The Union is the law around here?
Legally, no. In reality, yes. Martinez is de facto policed by the Dock Workers Union.
I see. Maybe there's something else you could tell me about.
I don't know what to tell you, officer. I didn't call you because I didn't want to get in trouble with the others. With the Union. I'm sorry about that.
Okay, next question.
Yeah, go on.
Do you know how my paperwork ended up in the trash container behind the Whirling?
Well, you tried to jam it down the toilet, sir. Clogging it completely. After I had unclogged the toilet and retrieved the paperwork, I threw it out in the trash, thinking you didn't need it. I am sorry about that. Anything else, detective?
Have you seen my badge?
Yes, I know who you are. You're a police officer. The law.
This exact conversation has happened before. Establishing authority before this young girl seems to have been important to you in the past. Don't go there again.
My badge is missing. Have you seen it anywhere?
Oh, no, I haven't, sorry.
Real policemen have uniforms too, by the way. Where's yours?
Not my uniform too. God, I should really look into that. Kim doesn't have a uniform.
He's in plain clothes, voluntarily. It's different from not knowing where your uniform is.
Have you seen my gun?
Please, no. Not this again. Everyone saw your cool gun, detective.
I showed you my gun? When did it happen?
You were trying to impress some people with it. Everyone was eating and...
And what? What did I do?
You were waving it around in everyone's face, begging them to describe it. You said it calms you, and then you started making suicide jokes. It got pretty graphic.
Oh, those again. I have been trying to wean you off them.
Off of what?
You know, when you put your gun, your actual gun, on your temple and pretend to shoot your brains out, off of that, people don't like that.
Jeez.
I remember this. You were screaming things like, "My brains are all over the wall," painting them red. I won't be seeing it, 'cause these are my brains. I can't see without my brains. Very nice visuals there.
Yes, but what happened to my gun?
No idea. All I know is next you were waving around money instead, saying things like big bucks cannot lie and guns can't buy money, but money can always buy guns.
Yikes.
It almost looked like you pawned it. But believe me, I did not ask.
Have you seen my policeman uniform?
Uniform? I never saw you in any uniform. You had your things on. The disco things.
You quit your job at the Whirling. Why?
You mean why did I leave the bar?
Why not?
Let's just say I left because I needed to get away from someone.
Alright, I won't push you on this. Are you ever coming back to work?
Maybe, I don't know. I just know I have to take some time off right now.
I think I got everything I need, thanks.
I do hope so. Please, don't call me again. Bye.
Wait, why does she seem angry with you?
Yes, you have obviously done something to upset her at the Whirling in Rags, when she was still working there.
Wait, before you go, you're mad at me, right? Tell me, what did I do? I can't remember anything.
I'm not mad, it's just... You were so drunk and so emotional all the time, and then the skewer thing happened. It just made me want to quit.
You're telling me that I was the one who made you want to quit?
Yes, obviously. You were the worst client I've ever seen. I've had sailors fighting, union guys grabbing my ass. Well, you were worse than all of them. Even about little things like not turning down the volume at We Go On by the O.O. I can't listen to it anymore. You've turned it into a parody. To hell with that song. Then there was your room. I tried to send the cleaner, but you wouldn't let me. And then screamed something about how you're a piece of shit human being and why does anyone even let you work as a policeman? And then I had to deal with your toilet. I won't even mention you waving your gun around. No, you really weren't. You were simply the worst. God, I knew I shouldn't have brought it up. Just try not to call me again and let's pretend it never happened. All sorts of things. Which one would that be? Sad? I think the one you mean is the smallest church in San Sans.
Interesting. You still have to find it, however.
Right. Thank you for talking with me. Take care.
You hear a sigh of relief on the other end of the radio.
Anything else I can help you with, officer?
I'm done with the radio for now.
57's over and out.
In the cabin, you see a set of steering levers.
Okay.
Hey, so we've been monitoring you internally, and now we know your Copo type.
Wait, there are Calpo types?
Yes. Guess what's yours?
Sorry, cop.
Yes, sorry cop. The cop who's sorriest. Let's make it official then, shall we?
Okay. But what are the other Capo types?
Oh, you know. Apocalypse, Superstellar, the advanced interesting cop, Liquid Shadow cop. But you're too sorry to say those things. So, here we go?
I'm sorry.
Of course you are. It's okay. See if you can get something out of this, like info. Or maybe every time you say you're sorry, you get $1 million.
I like this idea.
That won't happen.
Not about the $1 million, but turning habitual thoughts into some sort of game mechanic. Check my journal, read the watermarks, stand in front of the Kanima in the lights. Let's do that. And then after we're done here, we can head into the kitchen, which is supposed to have opened after 1300.
Just clip under the headlamp, an iridescent hologram appears. A street grid and the veins of a great river. A familiar sensation washes over you.
There she is. Revachol West.
Around the borders of the watermark are dozens, No, hundreds of micro perforations.
Look at the perforations.
There are many of them, and they are divided into 3 separate rows.
I tally up the 3 rows.
The first row has 18 dots.
What about the next one?
The next is the longest. It runs all the way around the border, and then some.
Count them individually.
You count 216 perforations. Considering that nice, large number, a wave of pride washes over you. Though you can't say why, precisely.
Last row.
The last row has 3 perforations.
3. That's it. I hope that doesn't kill me.
That's it.
Look at the shimmering streak
The
grid.
rectangular watermark is overlaid with the logo of the RCM, and yet the major arteries of Revachol are all recognizable. They shimmer in the Kanema's headlights.
Wait, look around you.
A rat brazenly darts past you and disappears amongst the stopped lorries. In the distance, a child somewhere shrieks. A woman reprimands her in a voice no quieter than the child's cry.
Ah, Martinez.
Where are we on this?
Let me see. Right here.
Seems nice.
No, it does not.
Hey Kim, what do all these holes mean?
Those are perforations. They represent your record as an officer of the RCM. They are your statistics, as it were. I should have guessed you'd keep a record. Officers often do. Let's take a look.
Alpha male officers who are proud of their numbers often do. It's meant.
The first row represents your years of service. 18 years. Okay, not bad at all. What did you do before you volunteered?
Oh. 18 years I've drunk. Wait, 18 years I've done this?
That's what it says. I might have guessed even longer based on your age. What did you do all those blissful years of your youth?
I feel like... Do you really think I have any idea?
Fair point. Let's move on, shall we? This next row, the one that wraps all the way around, is your number of closed cases. Closed is good. It means finished. You've got, let's see... Wow, more than 200.
216 to be exact.
It's quite a lot, even for someone who's been on the force for nearly 2 decades. Usually, clearing more than 10 cases a year puts you in the 90th percentile of all RCM officers.
I used to be good. That's some solace, I guess. What's the last number?
Right. Those are your confirmed kills. You've got precisely 3 perforations there.
That's not too many.
For an RCM officer, especially Precinct 41, which is in the Jamrock quarter, it's rather tame. I mean that in a good way. There are certain officers who treat their kills like some kind of ghoulish game. If they do happen to solve a case, it's usually by accident. But it seems as though you are, or at least were, one of the good ones. So we have that to be thankful for.
Have you ever killed anyone, Kim?
Yes.
Thanks for this.
The lieutenant nods.
Okay, let's go.
Right. I'll go turn off the lights.
Alright. I better save. Okay, next on the list. Gun badge pants. Clothes in the trash. Pay for damages. Who made the call? Inspect the body. Rigorous self-critique. Oh, I am all about that. But I can't internalize it yet. Let's check out the body real quick before we head into the kitchen. Quick save.
There he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes. The body below is entirely dedicated to that corpse smell. Emitting it is as you breathe in, the odor comes over you. It's a spell of the mind telling you to run, and your stomach to wring itself empty. With your hands at your sides and your eyes squinting, you stand in it.
Do they always do that?
They do after 7 days, yes. We are deep in decomposition here.
Step closer.
The man before you is naked, but for a pair of underpants and enameled boots. His skin is greenish, marbled with decaying veins, and blotched by lividity. A fading web of tattoos covers his chest and shoulders. The cargo belt used to fasten him to the branch above appears industrial in strength.
Inspect the boots.
The material appears to be ceramic. Its clean white stands in stark contrast to the decaying flesh above the knee. The man wore thick polymer socks, probably for padding. A fine array of interlocking plates covers them. Delicate and fragile, they feel alien to the world around you, out of place somehow. These are clearly not boots. They're armor, possibly part of a larger set.
These aren't just boots, are they? This is the armor he was stripped of.
Indeed. Technically speaking, these are sabatons, not boots.
Oh, the lieutenant uses a memo technique A6. That's not just any notebook. It's a classic.
Forget about the notebook, tell me about the armor.
It's clearly some manner of super armor. Or future armor? Super future armor? I'm useless.
What kind of armor is this exactly?
Ceramic plate. Zirconium dioxide, most likely. This is where the make would be.
Where?
Under the heel. Fair weather. Fair weather model T500 VE. I'm guessing that's vitreous enamel. This is advanced stuff.
The material looks out of place here.
It is. It's expensive. We've requested similar material for our tactical units for years now. The constabularies deemed it too costly. In that time, we've lost 6 men to semi-automatics.
How much are we talking about?
For a full set, about 4 years of wages.
Oh my god. So those boots is the equivalent, the cost of those boots, seratons, are the cost of 1 year's salary.
For the northwest region of Revachol, an officer's average yearly income is 5,500 real, unadjusted for rank.
Wait, my yearly pay is 5,500 real.
Not too much, yes.
It's enough.
The lieutenant nods, wiping his finger on his sleeve.
Where's the rest of it? Scavenged by the locals.
Piece by piece. He's been out here for 7 days. It would be odd if they didn't. We should keep a lookout for these species. The armor could yield information. This is one thing he might actually know.
Understood.
The sabatons dangle off the man's decaying form, ageless and synthetic.
How could this man afford such expensive hardware?
That's for us to find out. Mr. Gart implied he was security personnel for the harbor company. This confirms my own assumptions.
These look pretty advanced for a security guard.
I agree. This equipment is way beyond what a guard can afford.
Knock on the boot.
A small bell-like sound fills the air, like tapping on the side of a porcelain cup.
Sounds fragile.
It's anything but. This material is a kinetic redistributor. It spreads kinetic energy horizontally, from plate to plate, dissipating it entirely. See?
Faint Organic lines cover the plates where they separate into smaller ones. These plates then divide into smaller plates until there are hundreds of them altogether. Like whirls of floorboards, the design looks organic, influenced by highly resistant wood materials like lignum vitae and ebony perhaps.
What did this remind me of?
If trees were made of porcelain, this is what their cross-sections would look like.
Run your fingers over the lines.
The smooth, glossy surface fractures into ever more intricate interconnections, peaking on the right sabaton, where you notice. The whirls are in the shape of a letter and number combination, E50, 100, 1000.
Looks like there's a serial number on the right sabaton.
Good. Can you read it to me?
X5415 6745 678222. Let's lie.
No.
We have a make and a number. That's something. We can use the radio in my kinema when we're done. Either station can chase it for us.
Pull the boot off.
The stench fills your nostrils. As you push downward, an ominous creaking sound comes from above.
Stop! Pig's gonna pull his head off.
Brutal!
Let go of the boot.
What's wrong with you, asshole? Why's he letting go, Kuno?
I don't know, baby.
Officer, if I may ask, what were you trying to achieve by putting on the deceased foot?
Back off and look at the corpse.
The cadaver slowly twists on the cargo belt, his torso covered in tattoos, and extremities blotched pink and blue.
Inspect the tattoos.
An intricate web of blue lines stretches across the torso, from the right shoulder to the solar plexus. Each time they intersect, a small white star is formed in their crossing. Hundreds of fading asterisks riddle his skin. Their concentration is highest around his heart.
Is this a national pattern?
Of no nation that I know of. If anything, it reminds me of religious illumination, last or penultimate century. Men who live harsh lives often turn to innocentic worship. But which one? I see no trace of a humanoid figure.
We're missing something here.
I agree.
He wears a wide leather belt around his waist and a gun holster under his arm. He takes a thin piece of milled aluminium from his coat pocket and pulls it open. Sounds like a sword being unsheathed. A small lens appears. Some sort of camera.
What's that?
A Trigger Sunshine. Mini.
Triggered is the world's leading manufacturer of intercommunication devices, primarily projectors. The camera before you looks familiar somehow.
Shit, Kuno! What the fuck is that?
An instant color camera. I have only 2 ampoules, so nobody move. I don't want to waste one.
A sound, a shrill flash, followed by the breaking of a small ampoule of glass. You see streams of color pour onto the thick, glossy piece of paper, rolling out.
Would you look at that art?
In case we need it.
Cool machine.
Yes. It is pretty cool, isn't it?
There is only one ampoule left. Use it wisely.
What do we need this photo for?
It contains insight to the victim's person. By his build, I'd say this was a man of physical violence. The story he wanted his body to tell was important to him. It is his letter. To us. Someone should decipher it. We'll need to show it around.
Can I have it? I should look at it later without the corpse smell.
Sure. Just don't lose it.
The glossy-eyed corpse looks by, his mouth mute and his skin as colorful as the chemical rainbow on the photo paper, teeming with opportunistic organisms.
Look him in the eye.
His eyes are milky white and blind to the world, protruding comically from their sockets. There is no one home, just subaquatic terrors there. Dark brown hair grows on his head. His face is ready to explode from the organic processes inside. The death's head grin has passed. What remains is an unrecognizable mess.
This is gonna kill me probably. Back off.
The corpse looks right through you as you distance yourself from its stench, eyes like a shark.
I inspect the belt.
The hangman's knot is pulled tight by the weight of the corpse below. Yellow, hard-edged polyester cuts into his neck. Above, a sliding buckle ties the belt to the branch. This is a steel-reinforced cargo lashing belt, big brother of the regular cargo belt. It's used for tying cargo under 6-rotor airships.
Don't ask me how I know, but this is a lashing belt used for airlifting cargo.
Airlifting? I thought it was used on lorries for strapping cargo to them.
Apparently, this is the reinforced kind for air transport. My brain tells me so.
The local harbor uses 6 rotors to shuffle containers around. I get the sense they use whatever was on hand without paying much attention to not incriminating themselves.
We're assuming dock workers from the harbor did it?
I'm still approaching this as a lynching, yes. Motivated by the ongoing strike. You?
Oh, don't ask me. I'm just lumbering from one moment to the next.
We all are. This belt worries me.
They sure wanted him to stay up there. The rope is reinforced with steel wiring.
I was afraid it would be. Thin steel wiring, parallel strands. This makes getting him down more problematic than I had assumed.
How did they even get him up there?
A noose is one of those things that's easier to use one way around.
Did they climb up using the kid's ladder?
That ladder can't carry a grown man. I didn't see any splintering either, did you? I think they lassoed the branch, then pulled on the belt to close the buckle.
Could be. The shape of the branch supports the theory.
Back off.
The cadaver hangs from the cargo belt, limbs limp and torso covered in tattoos.
Squint and take a step back.
As you narrow your eyes, the monster before you blurs into a violent mess of green and pink. This is a trick. You've done it before. Pink is where the blood settled in the first hours post-mortem. You can use it to see if the corpse has been tampered with. Does his position at the time of death match the discoloration?
Observe.
Only the lower extremities are pink with a dash of blue. His fatted hands, thighs, and his neck, just above the noose. The rest of the corpse appears dark green in the cold spring air.
His face and hands are pink. Thighs too.
I see it. His neck too. The lividity goes right up his chin. We have good, well-pronounced discoloration here.
The monster comes back into focus, an explosion of color, coursing with dark marbled veins. His stomach appears pregnant with something. Black liquid streams down his thigh and onto his boot.
So, what do you think?
I think he was upright after death. His hands and feet and neck are discolored.
Agreed, especially on the neck. The belt acted like a tourniquet, keeping the blood in his head. The hypostasis supports her hanging.
You would still like the hypostasis marks in the neck to be a bit more pronounced.
Maybe it looks faint to you? It could be more pronounced, actually. Dumont noté.
Could it be he was moved after death?
There's always a chance. We should check for ligament marks on his neck to see if they're in tune with the belt. We'll have to get him down first.
He's beaten up. See the bruises?
Most of them are post-mortem. Maybe even all of them. The delinquents have made our jobs harder with their little sport.
Stop talking in riddles, coin slot.
Oh, I don't like that.
He means you fucked him up good, Kuno. Fucked him up brutal-like.
Something is coming out of him.
A pool of blood and feces has eaten into the frozen mud below the man's feet. Purge liquid is dripping into it, drop by drop.
The victim appears to have contained no more than half a kilogram of digestion at the time of death.
The fuck are you saying?
Talking about shit.
We got lucky.
Did we? I don't feel lucky.
Oh, I think he's dead.
I agree.
His personality is no longer a part of the world.
Totally dead.
This Buster, okay, yeah, totally. No, better not to say that. Too heavy.
Sure, the corpse looks by, oblivious. Black decay liquid drops from his knee to his boot. But there is no breath to catch, only the cadaver filling the air and your nostrils. He slowly rotates before you, decomposing.
So, how do we get him down?
Are you sure we finished the preliminary examination of the cadaver? We might miss some of these things once he's done.
Step back, have another
The
look.
cadaver slowly twists on the cargo belt, his torso covered in tattoos, and extremities blotched pink and blue.
Yup. The preliminary examination is done. Let's get him down from there.
The steel-reinforced belt presents a unique challenge. I brought chain cutters, but I don't see a good angle of approach to the belt.
He doesn't actually think the challenge is unique. He thinks it's frustrating, annoying, and harder than he thought.
The cadaver is a good 1.2 meters up. Neither one of us can reach the belt without assistance. And even if we do, there's the question of cutting the airship strength material.
Can't someone else do it?
Someone else? You mean like the police?
You have a point there.
Sadly, yes. The whole RCM is out there right now, doing the exact same thing we are. Are we in a rush to help them? Not with this on our hands. I know it's hard, but I assure you, the others won't come to help us. And we have a growing sanitary concern here. We need to get him down, fast.
We could saw the branch.
Climb up there and saw the branch?
Yeah. It seems dangerous.
There has to be a less risky way, with less falling down of trees.
Maybe we can ask help from the harbor.
I was really hoping we wouldn't. The Union appeared to be suspect in this case. It seems like a dangerous route to go down.
I would really prefer if there was another way. These people might have an agenda.
Yeah. Okay, let's reconsider.
But what other options? The corpse twists on the belt, like chicken on a skewer.
I'm out of ideas. Let's have another look at him. Okay.
Yes, we do.
Maybe we can shoot him down.
Yeah! Bang bang time, pig! Shoot his head off!
How?
Where the buckle ties the rope to the branch. That's a good spot to aim.
There. The buckle holds the belt together.
Where? Ah, yes, I see. If the shot hits that, there might be a chance to release the belt.
Yeah, now we're talking. Entertain a Kuno with some shit.
They'll miss! The pigs will miss Kuno!
Say nothing. Let him choose.
Silence. With his elbow sharp, the lieutenant unzips his jacket and produces a lightweight firearm. He drops a paper cartridge in the barrel, separates the scouring stick, and gives the cartridge 5 tucks, securing it in place. That's a Kiel A9090 Armistice, mass-produced muzzle loader, ascetic, frugal, one of the most common firearms in the world. He then steps back and assumes the fellow's stess position, taking aim. The corner of his eye twitches. His finger is on the trigger.
Say nothing.
He's gonna fucking miss.
The kid's voice is drowned in a shrill blast that echoes off the walls of the surrounding tenements. A cloud of smoke slowly parts in the air as the lieutenant steps back and says to himself,
God damn it.
a lot of things were wrong with that shot. The Phalostes was the wrong choice. His shoulders were raised, but above all, he cannot trust his eyesight.
Fucking idiot.
Kuno could have hit it easy, but then Kuno's not fucking handicapped, is he?
It's okay, man.
Kuno's sorry too.
The lieutenant doesn't say a word, just looks at the gun in his hand.
Try again, maybe.
No, we are lucky as it is. We didn't break anything, and the victim remains uncompromised. Any more mistakes could put us in an unfortunate position with the locals. We have eyes on us. I didn't do us any favors with that.
What now?
I have to say, it's beginning to look unlikely we can get him down without assistance.
You know, you don't feel like too bad of a shot yourself.
Can I have the gun? I should try.
It's bad as it is. Us shooting firearms like punks.
He pauses, then shrugs and proceeds to load the pistolet.
Go ahead. I'm not stopping you. Just don't lose it.
They only have one gun.
This is the sorriest pair of pigs.
Yeah, take it, you fucking banana pointer.
Feel the weight first.
The cold piece of bakelite and gunmetal is surprisingly light. Your fingers fit right through the guard, instinctively resting on the trigger. You've held this, a P9 armistice, before. At some point it probably used to be your choice of firearm. It still feels comfortable, like you never laid it down.
The fuck are you waiting for, Kuno? Tell him to shoot himself in the mouth.
Point the gun at the belt.
The buckle comes into focus in your sights. You stand with your feet planted firmly in the ground and your left hand supporting your gun arm.
Why don't you just shoot yourself in your mouth? At least you won't miss.
Oh. Okay, Wave have mercy.
The buckle explodes into tiny pieces, coming loose with a whir. With your hand numb from the recoil, you look at the body slump down. For a moment, the man appears to kneel in front of you, looking straight at you, helpless, trapped within itself.
Who killed you?
Communism.
It takes a millisecond for the association to flash within your cortex. You have no idea where it's coming from, only that it's right. Then the rigor in his muscles gives up, and he smashes sideways into the spring mud, letting out a horrid stench.
How did I do that?
By being a damn good shot. Ace is high.
The Ace is High, a custom invented by the aerostatic brigades during the revolution, is used to celebrate success in Revachol, especially in sports. The gesture is spread across the world, despite the defeat of the revolutionaries themselves. You could add an Ace's Low to it, if you like, by turning your back after the high and waiting for another.
Slap it and wait for an ace's low.
The high arrives with a sharp slap. As you turn around, there is a moment of doubt. Feels like that low ain't gonna connect. Chill, it's gonna connect.
What is this?
But then it does, and with furious precision. The lieutenant is not one to leave an Ace's Low hanging.
I knew these guys were
And what now?
We will perform a field autopsy and determine the cause of death. But before... Excuse me.
Slumped on the ground like that has not improved the way the corpse smells. The fall seems to have released something deep inside it.
It looks like I feel like taking a break from the stench. I'm sorry to interrupt the jubilations here. Just a little breather before we do the autopsy.
All right.
In the meantime, we should try to interview Everard Clare, the leader of the Union. Harbor property was clearly used in the hanging. The harbor just east of here. Getting in might prove a challenge, though. Or we could ask around for the representative of the logistics company. My initial information says the Wild Pines have sent some sort of strike negotiator to wrangle control back from Everard.
You could ask the gardener for directions.
Is this the famous list of initial interviews?
Yes. And those were the interviewees. Let's go.
Okay.
Lonesome, long way home. Here we go. Home awaits. Walk past Station 41 and through the market, past the Boogie Street spearhead to the other side of the lake, the frozen eye at the center of the district. Then past the video rental store on the corner. There, at the end of a street lined with pine trees, a small house no larger than a matchbox, 11 Voyager Road. You no longer live there. Those times are gone, and so are those people. Why did you come here? Why are you still here? And where's the dealer? You have to get back to work. That's all you have now.
Oh, that is one of my greatest fears. Only having work. Okay, well, that's done. Let's check the character sheet. We need to level something up. But which? Looks like our encyclopedia has gone down for some reason. Let's what is this? Go to Party Planet, love and be loved by drugs. Nope. Endurance. Empathy. Let's punch up our hand eye. Or no, our reaction speed. Wait. Yeah. +1 perception. Check the inventory and the tools. Interact with photo of tattoos. We'll do that next time. Whoa. But for now, that was a good completed task. Yeah, okay. That's that. See you in the next episode.